Expelliarmus! Hey, yo everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. And of course, I had to show off my wand. I got this at Diagon Alley at Ollivander's from Universal Studio. It's a really nice product. It's not cheap, flimsy plastic. This is some kind of ceramic which you can use to cast spells around Diagon Alley and make things happen. Mine is made of holly, or that is the material it's made of, the fictional material. But regardless, right, we're not talking about my wand. We're talking about Fantastic Beasts 2, The Crimes of Grindelwald. And before I actually talk about the movie itself, I would very much like to go into my journey with Harry Potter. Because this is actually my first Harry Potter movie review. Didn't review the previous Fantastic Beasts, So anyways, I first came into knowledge of Harry Potter when I was a teenager. I was 14 years old. It had to be 2001, 2002. And everyone was reading this shit, like, all up, down, left, right. I had a friend that was obsessed with Harry Potter. And me, being an angsty teenager, right, because it was so mainstream and I didn't find it on my own, but everyone else is into it, I really kind of didn't want to get into Harry Potter. Being an angsty teen sucks, because you don't know what you want, you don't know what you need, you don't know what's good or bad, you just do things because emotions. But for a while I kind of shunned reading Harry Potter. I did, however, watch the movies, and I watched the first movie on DVD, and then I watched movie 2, 3, and 4 in the theaters, and I did not want to admit it, but I loved the movies. I thought they were good. Of course, angsty Andrew was like, Batman could beat them up. I don't believe in magic, kind of thing. But yeah, and that's kind of my story of Harry Potter for a while. Until I am a young adult. Probably, I had to be 20 years old? 21 maybe? I had to be at least 21 because I know I was legal to drink. Now was it? Yeah, 21. Let's just go with that. And at this time I was working at Stop & Shop. Griggles! And I was talking to this girl, a co-worker. Her name was Taylor, and she was big into Harry Potter, and I, of course, being big into Batman, we made a deal. I would read Harry Potter, she'd read some Nightwing. Well, I upheld my end of the bargain, and I read the Harry Potter. She did not read all of Nightwing, and I was very upset with her. Shame on her. But I read Harry Potter. I read each book, and after each book I would watch a movie, which in hindsight was probably not the best idea because I could see the noticeable differences between the movies and books, but hey, I mean, hindsight. But anyways, I fell in love with it. The Harry Potter series is amazing. The first 3 books and the first 3 movies are almost exactly like each other, minor differences in the third movie, but for the most part they were phenomenal. The 4th book was amazing. The 4th movie pissed me off with how much changes they did. The 5th book was the only one in the series that I was kind of lukewarm on. The 5th movie I thought was pretty good, and the 6th and 7th books and movies were both good. Now, see, the funny thing about Harry Potter as a series, and the reason why I'm talking so much about Harry Potter, is that it has faults, right? It does. It has some plot holes. I think the 7th book kind of tried to rush things and made things so contrived in Deus Ex Machina. But, putting everything aside, right? Harry Potter is a fantastic form of fiction. Probably one of the greatest form of fiction in modern fiction. Beautifully well done characters who grow and evolve. Excellent world building. Like, I fucking want to live in Harry Potter world, which is just England with magic. I want to go to Hogwarts and learn how to Expelliarmus, Accio, and shit like that. It has beautiful world building, right? Great characters, great world building, overall great arcing story, and just overall it's a fantastic series of books and movies, and there's a reason why it's so popular and done so well. So our girl J.K. Rowling decided to give us more Harry Potter. And I wanted, let's do Harry's parents when they're in Hogwarts. Or let's do the first Wizarding War. Let's do what happens with Harry's kids after they go to Hogwarts. But no, we decided to go back to the 1920s, and we got Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which is a book referenced in the 7th book, The Deathly Hallows. I believe Hermione gets the book. But yeah, and we kind of expand upon Fantastic Beasts there. Although what we don't realize until the end of the first movie, that it is a backdoor to basically the story of Grindelwald versus Albus Dumbledore. For those of you that aren't as Harry Potter lord nuts as I am, basically the greatest duel that ever happened was between Grindelwald and Dumbledore. They fought for hours just dueling with wands. Grindelwald had the Elder Wand, and Dumbledore was using his regular wand. And it's supposed to be the most epic battle that ever happened in Wizarding history. And basically these 5 movies are building up to it. Which I'm okay with, because Dumbledore is one of my favorite characters. If not my favorite character from Harry Potter. I think he might be, pound for pound. They're all pretty fucking awesome. But in saying that, right, we get to see this kind of build and grow and actually happen. So I kind of wanted to give you guys my opinions on Harry Potter as a series and my growth and evolution with Harry Potter, because it's been an interesting part of my adulthood. I can see how it's a great coming-of-age story for people that are young adults, teenagers, transitioning into adulthood, and I was not part of that phenomenon, right? I know a lot of people that were 10 years old when they started reading the books, and were 20 when the books were finished, and they fucking grew up with these characters. I didn't. I just read them in one big binge. Still love them, and I can realize how much of a coming of age story was, but these characters were kind of a big part of my college time. But yes, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Let's talk about itself. Now, there were a lot of negative reviews going into this film. I don't pay attention to reviews. Reviews are like assholes. Everyone has one. Even me, which I'm giving you right now. But here's the thing. A lot of negative reviews came about with this movie, and I was a little surprised. Harry Potter getting negative reviews? I mean, shit, this stuff is good. What are you talking about? Harry Potter doesn't do negative reviews. People are even going so far to say that J.K. Rowling is pulling a George Lucas and creating the prequel problem. Let's just get something straight. Whatever this Harry Potter stuff is right here, the Fantastic Beasts stuff, it ain't the Star Wars prequels, right? I don't even need to watch the movies to know that they ain't the Star Wars prequels. You can't gone and F things up as bad as that. You can't. Look at me, I'm holding the wand like fucking Voldemort does. But anyways, the basic premise and gist of The Crimes of Grindelwald is Grindelwald, who is a powerful dark wizard, whose ultimate motivation is that wizard supremacy. But not just that wizards shouldn't hide themselves in the society, right? Muggles, which are non-wizarding using humans, don't know anything about the wizarding world for the most part. And he says, well, F that, we're more powerful, why aren't we, running things? We should. And it's similar to Voldemort's ultimate goals, right? Old Voldy, little Tommy Riddle, he wants pure-blooded magic supremacy and enslave the human race. Grindelwald's not like that. He sees humans as lesser beings, but he's not like, let's enslave them. I mean, I guess he has no problem killing them because he does it in this movie. But he's more like, yo, why aren't we running the show? Clearly we're better. Magic only gets produced in rare instances with phenomenal people. Why aren't they running the show? Why are these muggles? And he's very charismatic in how he does it. So he kind of brings followers in. And he's so charismatic that, he has a history with Albus Dumbledore. And it's very hinted and strongly hinted that it's a romantic relationship between the two of them. Although it's not outwardly said, but there's definitely romantic feelings between the two of them. And basically he's even able to get Albus on his side when they were kids. But Albus saw the folly of his ways, and it's a pivotal point for the character there to step away from what Grindelwald was doing, because it's not right. And eventually they go their separate ways, right? But before they go their separate ways, they make a blood pact that they can't fight each other. So, magic blood pact, they can't fight each other. But I'm getting off the beaten track. Because of this blood pact, Dumbledore can't go up against Grindelwald and fight him because he's the only wizard that has the power that can actually go up against Grindelwald. Instead, he gets Newt Scamander to go out there, the main character of the movie, to go out there and basically take down Grindelwald. Or not take down Grindelwald, but really there's an alternative motive, which if you watch the movie you'll see. While this is going on, Grindelwald is trying to get Credence, who is played by Ezra Miller, who basically is a magical folk whose magic was suppressed, so it creates a demon-like fucking entity, I forget what it's called, that basically is incredibly violent. He's trying to seduce him over to his side so that he can use him against Albus. And there is also Lita Lestrange, whose story kind of ties in with everyone. So let's talk about the good, the bad, and whether or not you should watch this movie. Good. Jude Law as Dumbledore is phenomenal. He gets the character, and he gets the whimsicalness and the fun to him, as well as the seriousness and the weight to the character. As well as Johnny Depp does a good job at Grindelwald. I was afraid that he was going to create Captain Jack Sparrow of the Wizarding World, but Grindelwald is very cultured, very divine, very reserved, right? He doesn't lash out in anger like old Tom Riddle does. He's very calm and collected throughout the movie. And he displays his power throughout the movie, too. I think all the characters that returned from the original Fantastic Beasts movie were fun and enjoyable, and now that I know them, I enjoy them more. And, of course, we get to see a lot of the beasts, a lot of the animals, which were fun, too. Lita Lestrange's story was really tragic and really well done, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know some people were kind of up in the air with it, but I thought it was really well done. And at the end of the film, not everyone that's good stays good, and not everyone that's evil stays evil. There's some side switching, so that's always interesting too. Bad, yes, there is bad, right? I don't think there's enough of Jude Law in the film. And in saying that, this is going to become Dumbledore's story. I think if they're going to be making it his story, they should really have him a little bit more in there. Because it's the crimes of Grindelwald, he doesn't really commit too many crimes. I mean, he kills a baby. Or at least he authorizes to kill a baby. I mean, that's pretty terrible. And he kills a bunch of muggles, right? Pretty terrible. But, I mean, he doesn't do too much craziness that warrants everyone to be worried. Like, this guy has been, like, around for a while now, and you just caught him, and he broke out, and now you're super worried. Like, why weren't you guys super worried beforehand? But anyhow, not much happens in the way of that. In the final spectacular climax, wasn't as spectacularly climactic as I wanted it to be. It was emotionally climactic, but the spectacular of it really wasn't where I wanted it to be. In saying that, I actually enjoyed this movie more than I enjoyed the first one. I don't think it warrants all the bad reviews that everyone says it does. I mean, as a movie itself, structurally it could be better, right? I think it doesn't hit every note that a movie should have. But Harry Potter at this point, and the wizarding world of Harry Potter, is kind of like comfort food. Whether it's good or bad, I still enjoy it, and I still enjoy eating it. It's kind of like Simpsons. I mean, Simpsons were in their prime in the 90s. Now they're nowhere where they used to be, but I still enjoy watching it, and I give it a +1 bonus because of nostalgia. Harry Potter's the same way. This movie is a good movie, right? Putting all nostalgia aside, it's still a good movie. But the fact that it's Harry Potter, I enjoy it a little bit more, so I have a little bit of sympathy for it. But, yeah. People saying that they can't follow the film because it's too crazy and all over the place, I didn't feel that way. I thought it was a very serviceable film that had a straightforward story, and just, yeah, it was good. So I recommend seeing it, right? If not, I'll expelliarmus you, or I'll cruciatus curse you to go do it, yeah? See, I remember all my Leviosa, not Levioso. So with that said, this is Andrew saying, peace out for now.